Hello, gorgeous. I'm just going to press live before I dither anymore, okay? Hello, welcome if you're new. My name is Stacey Sargison. There are so many of you newbies that are joining, hundreds of you, and those that are old, like the OGs, guys, get ready. There's going to be a lot of movement on this account and within everything that I'm doing, which is quite apt, funny, surreal, especially if you've been following my journey for a while, particularly this year. And if you saw my live stream yesterday, it's on my YouTube channel as well, episode 14, which was called the Confession episode, where I shared what, for those that don't know, like kind of what's been going on in my life. But the last year, 2 years has been very difficult, very challenging. It almost ruined me in all the ways, almost. And I'm really proud to say that I didn't let fear or shame, almost did, but I didn't let fear or shame guide where I'm going. What's the word I'm looking for? Not guide where I'm going, impact where I'm going. It was like, no, time out. Enough is enough. When I write those posts, enough is enough. Yeah. That's why I was writing those posts, because I was feeling it too. So if you are new, and if this is maybe the first time you're catching me live or seeing a video of mine, and you have come from the most amazing viral video out there, quite frankly, right now with the gorgeous Leonie, we are doing a collaboration together live on the 21st of December, 12 noon GMT. I know, guys, but we liked all the 12s and the 1s and the 2s. And we are doing a whole live community thing around that, because I truly believe, and have done for over 14 years, showing up online live most of the time. I truly believe in genuine human connection, and together we rise. And for us as a collective, not to just sound like a great hashtag, but they're values I live by. And whilst I'm not going to share too much more on this live stream, I'm going to be sharing more about some controversial topics, actually. But this is why this is why I do what I do, because I believe in expanding our consciousness, expanding our mind, reframing our mindset, elevating our mindset, and choosing and taking radical responsibility and autonomy of the lives in which we want to live, and taking back the control of ourselves and unplugging from the narrative and the rhetorics that are trying to be shoved in our face at this time. So this is why I'm saying this live stream is going to be quite controversial. And to give a little bit of context I'm going to be talking about money. I'm going to be talking about, from a working class background, how I'm really moving away and leading a revolution around enough money shame, no money shame, making money, doing what you love, or making money and doing whatever you want to do is your prerogative. And in a world which is, things are going up and up, okay, no matter what you believe in, unless you're making more, you are going to go backwards. Whether we like it or not, money makes the world go around. I know we wish that we could just hug and everything would be okay, and we can still do that and still be a part of that, which is why I'm doing this huge movement with the gorgeous Leonie. I totally believe we can change the frequency of the planet. But money in the hands of good people, more good can be done in the world. And as much as we want to help others, not all of us have the time, or we don't live locally, but we would love to invest in other things. And if you're still watching this, the chances are you're one of those human beings as well. So to rein it back a little bit, if you've seen my documentary, there's a link in my bio to my YouTube channel, and there's a documentary there. So I'm going to cover a few things, top line of who I am, why you should listen to me, why maybe our souls have been brought together, because I truly believe in that. We have met for a reason, okay? And I am talking more about money, and I am talking more about how old limiting mindsets, and I talk about poverty consciousness, which ultimately means, for those that don't use that terminology, because I know there's people from different walks of life that follow me, ultimately it's believing that if you make money, you're a bad person. And that's typically from people who don't have money or people who are from a certain background. I'm from a working class background. And unless they understand how you've done it, it's seen as bad, or you must be shafting someone, or money's evil. And I'm here to say absolutely not. I think who you are when you have money and who you are when you don't have money is who you're going to be. If you're a good person without money, you'll be a good person with money. That's inherently who you are. If you're a bit of a dickhead without money, you're probably going to be one with money, and vice versa. So let's stop that right now. And especially in something, and the amount of people I've worked with over the years, Reiki healers, spiritual healers, makeup artists, photographers, artists, consultants, doctors, lawyers, whoever it is, wanting to make more money isn't a swear word. Okay, it's only seen as such when there's people that are trying to keep you small, or not, or trying to control you. Okay, so let's get to it. So for those of you who don't know, and maybe you do, so this is a refresher. I am from a working class background. My mum had 3 jobs. My dad was in the Navy, then in the police. And growing up, we were given housing, like council housing. When my dad was in the police, there was a police housing estate in Northamptonshire. Later on in life, my parents managed to put everything that they ever had earned in their life into buying a property. I was raised, work hard from my father, and I'm very grateful, like work really hard. And my mum is very much like, the world is your oyster, right? So with those values, I went to university, did as I was told, like in that narrative, like work hard, go to university, get the job. And I got the job, one of my dream jobs. And it was at that point I had 2 cancer scares. If you've seen my documentary, you would have known this. You would know this. I had 2 cancer scares, but it was at Christmas time where I realized things had to change. And that was, I always get emotional when I say this, so bear with. At Christmas time, my mum had said, we have a tradition. Hi, everyone. We have a tradition where we decorate the Christmas tree together. And I was at work in London and everyone went downstairs for a Christmas party. I wasn't really invited because I had a very important report. that I had to get done that day. And it was around about 10:30. The lights kept going off in this high-rise building. And a security guard kept walking past and he was like, what are you still doing here? Hi, everyone. The security guard kept going around like, what are you still doing here? And then my mum called. Wait, because if you see the documentary, you know this gets me every time. And my mum called and she said, where are you? I hope you're on the train. Bearing in mind, she'd called my office. So that was kind of like a telltale sign. And I said, no, mum. And it was 10:30 at night. And mum said, you do realise that they can fire you at any point. But Christmases with your family are important. And it was at that moment in time I realised my priorities were upside down. So fast forward, I started to look at what do I want to do with my life? So I searched how to know when to quit your job. I then met up with a random stranger who I saw a video on YouTube at Waterloo in London, paid between £400 and £700 for one conversation, which changed my life forever. So I believe in that to this day. Then after that, after Christmas, again, giving you some context here, we're going to get into the nitty gritty in a second about changing your money mindset unapologetically from a working class woman. So then I learnt, oh wow, I could actually work from a laptop on a beach. By the way, no, you cannot, because the glare is impossible. If you know, you know. But I was like, I could work anywhere and make my annual salary. And then that's when I heard a woman online brag about how much money she was making. And it changed my life. And she said, I made my annual salary in a month. And then she was like, I made my annual salary in a day. And at this point, if you wanted to start a business online, the 6-figure year was the goal. A 6-figure year, that would be great. And for me, I was like, sod that. I want a 6-figure day. I'm kind of like that. I'm a high achiever. And so I learned I invested. I was like, I don't care how much this is going to cost. I want to know how I'm going to make 100K in a day. Yes. Because that to me was an instant ROI of course I'm going to do that. Why? Of course I'm going to learn the education of and the knowledge on how to do that. It was a no-brainer. And so I started doing that, and I started sharing with people online. I set up an account and I started sharing with people online what I was doing. Just like, I want to change my life, and whoever's with me is with me, and watch me. And it was an anonymous, but I did live streams on there. And then I started having people reach out to me. No landing page, no website, no nothing, no photo shoot, nothing. I was simply doing exactly what I'm doing now. And I said, this is what I'm doing. And other women started to say, can you help me? And I said, yes. I had no qualifications, no life coaching qualifications, nothing. Simply a woman doing exactly what I'm doing now. And then that's how I started making multiple 5 figures. And then like thousands were coming in, then tens of thousands. And then I was hosting VIP days for 25,000. Now, bear with me. There's a lot of people that will roll their eyes now going, yeah, but that doesn't happen anymore. That's a lie. That's a lie. There are many people out there making that money now. It's not that the market's saturated. It's that you're holding yourself back from what you want to say, how you want to say it, if that's what you want to sell. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. So then I have made some notes here to try and get through this succinctly. And I am about to do a podcast, record it. So I need to go and get ready and do that. But a podcast guest. So I then I shared how I made the 6 figures in a weekend. And then fast forward, I was traveling around the world pretty much every month. If you followed me on Facebook, you would have seen that. And then I moved to Australia. And then that's when things shifted, and how and why I say the environment is very important for you. It was when I started to share with people, because a lot of my clients were in America and Europe at that time. And bear in mind, this is about six years ago when I moved to Australia. Don't get me wrong, I could be very wrong. I'm sure I am now. But at the time, I was allowing people to infiltrate my mindset around who pays that? Why would they do that? And so as I spent longer and longer in Australia, I started to quieten down my message, quieten down my truth, because a lot of people were saying, but you're not doing that this week, so you can't sell how to do it. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's like saying you're not a parent because your child doesn't live in the house anymore. You're still a parent. It's like, I still did this. This is still a reality. Do you know what I mean? It's like this, but then there's this whole, that just started to mess with my head. And so when I shared the last few years, and particularly this year, I'm all about transformation, changing your mindset, realizing what's possible. And I know from being a woman that was raised working class, it put a lot of people out, it put a lot of people off, and it put a lot of people's noses out of joint. And a lot of people thought I was this, that, and the other. And that concern, or those judgments, hushed me up. So when I say to you all, and when I write posts, hi Jenny, when I write posts around when you hold yourself back, it's because I fucking know. And it almost ruined me. It almost, like, literally not a bean to my name and all of that. And I'm like, no, this is not okay. Because is it bragging online, or is it saying this is what's possible? So this is what I'm sharing now. Whatever you want to make in your if you have a business, or even if you don't, realizing that you can make as much money as you want isn't a swear word. And I mean, I'm hoping everyone does it ethically, but that's not for me to carry. But what I'm saying is, we all have the opportunity with our phones right now. And everyone's saying that the market's saturated. No, you cannot outsmart authenticity. You cannot outsmart genuineness. I just don't buy it. And for me to sit this year, and at the end of this year, knowing that, all those years ago when my mum said, you do know that they can fire you at any point. What made me do the live stream yesterday, hi everyone, what made me do the live stream yesterday, and why you should give a shit, I guess, is because I'm really sick and tired of people who aren't interested in making money, judging those that are, or people who aren't willing to expand their consciousness and their mindset to be like, oh, how could I do it actually? And how could I do it where I'm actually genuinely loving what I'm doing, or helping people, or having so much fun creating my artistic pieces? Because I tell you right now, there are people paying what you would love them to pay. The difference is you're not being that person. You're trying to make sure you do a reel that is like making, like, that gets people involved, that's trendy. rather than, and I have personal experience over this with a viral video and reel going now to millions and millions and millions, it's because it's done with genuineness. It's because it's done with, it's a buzzword, but authenticity. Me doing this live stream when there are many people looking and watching from the sidelines, knowing I've fallen on the bones of my ass, and look, there's a woman getting back up, saying what I've done once I can do again. What I invested in my brain, that is an ROI that will forever be the gift that keeps on giving. I'm speaking to you, those of you who understand that concept, those of you who are like, okay, how do I work with a woman like that, who has done that, who is rising back up again? Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you've forgotten how powerful you are, this is for you. I'm really passionate, particularly people with amazing hearts and souls who are doing something because they genuinely give a shit. They're holding themselves back because they don't believe they can make the money that they desire. And yeah, I'm talking about money for those that are just joining. Working class background, don't talk about money. I will, because it changes lives. It helped me leave a corporate job. It helped me travel the world and have some of the most amazing relationships of my life and friendships, and help me come back and start my life again and get back on the horse, so to speak, and start again. How many times do you hear that with entrepreneurs and business owners? Nobody likes to see when they go down, do they? But they like to hear it towards the end. And I've always vowed and vouched, I will share highs, lows, everything in between. So the people that say yes now, no, because I'm a person that's fucking doing it again. And whatever you're investing, whether it's me or somebody else, whatever you are investing in, the ROI will forever give back. Because if I hadn't have invested all the things that I had done, and if the women who had worked with me, like, that changed their lives to know that they just paid 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000 to work with me, to travel around the world with me, to spend the day with me, or to have a call, $20,000 call with me for 1 hour. They're real numbers. And if somebody hadn't told me that out loud, bearing in mind I was the first person that I know that ever did a 20k call, but those numbers aren't arduous. They're not frivolous to me. Those numbers to me back in the day, and even now when I hear my own people who I follow making millions per month, I'm like, yeah, because I've got stuff I want to do in this life. People I want to help, things I want to set up. And that, last time I checked, we can't do that with jelly beans. And so I'm for women, particularly, I've worked with men in the past, but particularly women who want to shift the paradigm. They're just like, I want to shift the lineage of my family, because you got like sovereignty of your finances, of yourself, of all of that. And everybody that has seen me struggle recently, and everybody that is watching and bearing witness to this right now, this is what success looks like. It's the not giving up. It's the tenacity. It's the, I'm feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's the, people are going to judge me, but fucking who cares? There's a bigger mission here that's beyond my fear. And the mission is, anybody watching this now who wants to make a shit ton of money, because they do, whether they want to sit on it like Scrooge McDuck or help millions of other souls on this planet, or everything in between, I'm for you, because there's something in your psyche or in your mindset that is stopping you from, one, maybe believing that's possible for you, or two, you may not know how to do that yourself. And trust me, it's not harder. It isn't. It's in the sense of doing, but it is something that needs to shift here and in your gut, right? Connecting all that together, and all the things that tell you, but it's not possible these days. Bullshit. Says who? Says who? The only person that matters is what you say is possible. You know this. And so, when I started to share again, the struggles that I have had have really cracked me open to this. And my best friend knows it. I talked about it yesterday on the live stream that I did. I was just like, I'm done. Like, that's all I kept saying on our call. I was just like, I'm done. And this is the most beautiful thing, because it's like, I'm done with that. And so very open to this over here. So if you're ready for this, and I'm not just saying because it's the end of the year, it just so happens to be the end of the year. This isn't, because it's December, new year, new you. This is purely timing of my own full circle moment. But I know if I'm going through it, I'm not the only person. And I know that as God is my witness, divine source, whatever you believe in, as my witness, I know this to be true. You are watching this for a reason. This isn't just great marketing spiel, although it is. It's deeper than that. What you want to make, the clients that you want to attract, and like I said, I don't care what business you've got. I've literally asked photographers, videographers, Reiki practitioners to charge me double because I was like, you're worth more than that. Why aren't you charging double? Why aren't you owning your gifts? Because there's people that will pay. You just don't think because maybe your upbringing, or maybe there's some experiences that you've gone through that make you believe that those people aren't out there anymore. Hi, Eva. Maybe it's because, I don't know, you've been doing this for a while and the results aren't happening, so you feel there's something stuck. This is your sign to say, let's remove that, because it can literally be removed today. Today. So how are you holding yourself back? What is it that you believe around money? What is it maybe you've been conditioned to think about money? I know you've done, maybe if you've been in the personal development world, hun, I know you've done this work already. I know. But something has shifted. An opinion like for me, I've got cramp. An opinion like opinions for me infiltrated my psyche, like earworms that I didn't even know were there until I literally was on my knees and was like, what is going on? Enough. I'm not saying you have to get there. That rock bottom is a mindset, is a conditioning. I get that. I didn't have to maybe go through it, but in my story and in my soul and in my life, it seems that's what needed to happen for me to get to this point on a live stream right now and not care what anybody else who doesn't get this thinks, but those that do or will. That's what's important for me, for us. Because we will, money in the hands of good people, good will be done in the world. But also, like I say before, if you literally want to sit on it like Scrooge McDuck, that is your prerogative, and nobody can tell you what for. Even if you just want it for you and your family and you want to do your business and work less, that was me. High paying clients, high ticket clients, VIPs, £25,000 days. Yes, please, for one client. Yes, please. And then I can take 3 months off? Yeah, okay, cool. Not sorry about that. Not sorry about that. Or I can make £50,000 and then fly my mum and I to Bali first class with Emirates, and she doesn't have to worry about anything, and I can pay for her holidays. Hi, Claudia. Yeah, that not sorry about that. That was important to me. That is important to me. You know, being able to visit my nephew whenever I want in Canada, and I don't want to go cattle class. Not sorry. Other people might go, I don't care about first class. No one's saying you have to go first class, but allow yourself the desires, because the desires are leading you to a version of yourself that the world requires, but also that you get to experience in this life. I have come from a background where just enough is all right. No, I've never just wanted just enough. Ever. And I'm from that. So there's something within you that is seeking more expression, more things to buy so you can express your personality through the clothing or the jewelry or the piercings or the skincare or the house or the kitchen. You want to make more money because you want a new kitchen. I get it. But we so often cap ourselves, particularly as women, in this whole martyrdom of, well, if I'm helping people, I couldn't possibly sit in surplus. If I'm helping people, I couldn't, because people would just think I'm a money-grabbing bitch, which is what I've been told numerous times. Preying on those that want more money or preying on those that want freedom. I wouldn't say praying, I'd say it's a service. If you want to know how I'm for you, if you want to know how you can invest in knowledge and experience and, knowledge, and so that if or whenever, because life happens, you end up finding yourself, I don't know, in the fucking valley, you can be like, I know how to rock climb. I've been hit, like, okay, we know how to do this. Let's do this again. The greatest ROI of your life, especially in a world like now. If you don't know how to adapt, if you just keep doing the same old, expecting the same thing, will only last so long. But what will always, forever stand the test of time, and I am absolute proof of this right here, right now, in front of your very eyes, is the ability to be like, whatever is happening here, I know how to get out of this now. And you are watching it right now. So allow yourself the desires of your heart, your soul, your spirit. Maybe you want to make so much money doing what you love and helping people that actually are excited to pay you because you are shifting them in the most beautiful way, or giving them a photography experience, even though everyone's like, AI is going to kill your industry. Bollocks. It will kill your industry if you don't lead with your heart. It will kill your industry if you don't show up and share your actual gifts. But I can tell you right now, because I used to work, side note tangent, I used to work in the paper industry, one of my first ever jobs in actual fact. And this was when Amazon was starting to take off, and the whole Kindle thing. I don't know about you guys. Oh, I'm using my book now, but I'm a fan of actual books and smelling them and holding them. There will always be people that actually want to hold a book. There will always be people that want somebody to take a photo instead of those crappy AI. I just can't stand them. I think they look, I mean, some of them are pretty cool, but you just see a wave of all these people doing their business photography, and I'm like, yuck. That's not, it doesn't vibe with me, and it won't vibe with the clients that are going to pay you what you want them to pay you. Okay, gorgeous. So I'm very passionate about this because too many of us get told to not want money. I'm like, our businesses aren't expensive hobbies. Even charities. Hi, gorgeous. Even charities want money. So this whole rhetoric of wanting money is a bad thing. Jog on. You don't have to agree with me. But I do have a little corner on this world, on this online world, and I'm for people that are like done with feeling bad around wanting financial freedom, because if you do it, you've got to I don't know, start a crypto. I'm not saying that, absolutely not. You get to enjoy what you do and make a shit ton of money, because there are people out there like me who will pay for it. Whether it's, I don't know, Reiki in, I don't know, Red Rock or Sedona. It's just that people are getting fearful because of AI or because of all these other things. But you're not talking to people that want that. You're talking to people that want genuine human connection. You're talking to people that actually value exclusivity or personal one-to-ones, or, I don't know, coming together and investing in actual, like for me, in 2026, like really honouring women coming together. Not just talking about it. Like women that actually are like me, that love getting on flights. Like I love travel and I like to go in nice places. So it's no surprise that's what I'm doing next year. So if that's you, welcome. We've met for a reason. And I know that some things that I say trigger, activate, I don't know, whatever word you want to use. I'm not here to upset anybody, but I am here for your whole body and soul to expand and to enjoy abundance, because it's your divine birthright, no matter where you are in the world. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what your background is. Okay? I love you. Thank you very much for watching this impromptu live stream. I did make notes, but I kind of didn't even stick to it. Quelle surprise. But if you are, God, it sounds so samey, but I don't mean it to. If you are ready to exponentially improve your life beyond your wildest comprehension. Hi, Louise. Your wildest comprehension, especially if you're a service-based, healer, coach, photographer, makeup artist, whatever. Like, please stop thinking there are people out there that won't pay for your magnificence and your presence and your gifts, because they are. But we just simply don't resonate with what is being shoved in our faces by 99% of the people out there trying to sell their businesses. We work differently. We feel differently. You watching this, there's a feeling beyond these words. That's not a mistake. I trust the divine with that, God, source, energy, whatever you believe in. So, welcome. I shall see you, for those that are joining, the huge movement on the 21st. I'll see you then. But anybody else, if you're curious about working with me, All I ask, all I suggest, send a DM and let's connect. No pressure. Lots of love. Over and out. Bye.